Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people. This is the Canis Castigator, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road in the snow. We are back for what, week 3? Yeah, week 3 of full off-road in the snow. Of course, by the time this video goes live, the snow will already be concluded in GTA Online, but it's okay. We can live vicariously through this video and next week's video, or you could just go back and watch like all 44 of my Will It Off-Road in the Snow videos. Yeah. If you're a channel member, you can watch next week's video, because it'll be uploaded probably the same day this one gets uploaded. But, you know, it won't go live. It'll be members only for a couple weeks, because, you know, that's one of the perks of being a channel member. Another perk is that you can get ad-free version of Will It Off-Road, and as well as all the other community videos in a behind-the-scenes series that's less edited and features our conversation in Discord instead of this voiceover. Information on how you can become a channel supporter and get access to that ad-free version and the behind-the-scenes version is in the description down below. And also in the description is a link, one, to a spreadsheet that has the stats, every vehicle we've ever tested in Will It Off-Road, whether it be Will It Off-Road in the snow or just regular Will It Off-Road. It's all there for you to peruse and compare and sort and see which cars DNF'd. And then also there is a link to Will It Off-Road Bingo down there, which you should play because it's fun. It actually is. I play along now and then. I've never won. I think I need to update the cards a little bit. Some of the cards are kind of a little outdated. But, or some of the tiles, I should say, that can come up in the pool. But if you do win, you'll be our 6th ever winner, and you need to just leave bingo down in the comments if you manage to win. And then the final thing down in the description is a link to the Vainglorious Discord server. You should join us and hang out. We have a small but somewhat active community. It's not, you know, one of those communities where if you blink, you're suddenly 3 topics behind. It's something that, you know, you can check in later in the day and see what happened and still find out what's going on. Small communities have their perks. It's kind of nice. And we have people from all platforms who play all kinds of different games. But if you happen to be on the platform and playing the game that we're playing for a video or for a live stream, then you can join in on the fun. And there, that's everything. All the promo stuff that I normally talk about in Will It Off-Road, it's all out of the way. 2 minutes. Well, 2 minutes, 55, 66 seconds. So, whatever. So, the Castigator. In the dry, just kind of an average vehicle, like down in the 60s, I think. I'm not 100% certain on the exact place that it came in. But it didn't really turn in all that impressive of a run. And I really thought that this right here had ruined it. That this was just going to make it, you know, just way down in the bottom half. Basically, it understeers a lot, just regularly. And then, of course, the snow exaggerates that. But we are up 2 minutes, 59 seconds. So will it off-road in the snow? Yeah, coming in just shy of 3 minutes. That's not too shabby. Out of the 86 vehicles that we have tested as of this video, it comes in 19th. So, you know, not too terribly bad. Definitely well up into the top quarter of all vehicles. It is 1.67... I always have trouble with that. 1.67 seconds slower than the Declasse Yosemite Rancher and 1.55 seconds faster than the Ubermacht Reinhardt. In terms of SUVs, we've tested 9, and there it's about middle of the pack at 4. It is 1.883 seconds slower than the Ubermacht Rebla GTS, and 7.85 seconds faster than the Pegassi Toros. You can imagine why the Toros did terribly. It's just a very difficult car to drive. Oh, hello, hobo. Trying to knock me off the mountain with your bigger Jeep. Bigger and harder to drive Jeep. But I like the Castigator a lot. Like, when you don't have just a ton of bumps and sharp turns and everything, because that want to roll it over or cause it to flip, It does all right, but it does have a tendency on really sharp turns at speed to want to go up on two wheels. It understeers terribly, but just like, I don't know, like out in the desert, maybe down in, what is it, Lago Zancudo, the area there just outside of Fort Zancudo, in the marshes, it's a lot of fun, and it's fairly competent in those areas. It's just on the mountain it struggles a little bit. Oh, speaking of struggling, what did Hobo hit to do that? I don't even know. Man, that was rough. There we go. In terms of comparing this against itself, it took 20.75 seconds longer for the Castigator to reach the top of the mountain in, there we go, talking about rollover. But it took it 20.75 seconds longer in the snow than it did in dry conditions. So about average for what we see. You know, everything's usually anywhere from 15 to 30 seconds. Some vehicles more than a minute, just depending on how competent or incompetent they happen to be. But we had a good crowd for this World Off-Road. It was a lot of fun. Some people went AFK. Well, one person went AFK in the middle of it, and it will pay for it. I don't know if it's in this video or the next one. But they will meet an untimely demise because of their being away from the keyboard. Yeah, so talking about understeer, that was perfect case. I overestimated how much grip the front wheels were going to have to get around that corner, and overestimated, underestimated. Yeah, one of those. And it just couldn't get around. It just couldn't do it because it understeers bad, and in the snow, it's even worse. Nice jump from Hobo. We're down 2 minutes 58 seconds, and so we are going to head back to the top of Mount Chiliad to fling the Castigator off the side, and of course everybody will join me just to see what type of damage it can sustain. It got a nice launch, and that's down to the all-wheel drive, and I even managed to kind of get it to land on its wheels. It looked like I was going to land right on my bumper, but it managed to land on its wheels, but then it just became a twisty, tumbly mess, and I have three very other vehicles, two very big ones and one the same size as me coming right after me. So even though I got a good launch, I didn't get very far ahead. Granted, everybody else has a chance to get a little bit more speed than I do at the top of the mountain. So yeah, by the way, in the top left-hand corner, I failed to mention, is Commander Hobo's point of view. Once again, the other Vainglorious community member who frequently provides footage, Raven, was unable to join us for some reason. He was really excited about World Off-Road in the snow this year. Kept asking about it and then didn't show up. Since the snow's only in for 2 weeks, we record 4 vehicles on one Sunday afternoon and then 4 more the next Sunday afternoon, just so we can get them all done and then have a month's worth of videos with 2 vehicles at a time. So, you know, there was about 6 hours of recording time between those two that he could have joined us. Yeah, I don't know what happened here, how I wound up back here. I probably should have drove forward and gone down and around instead of back here and snaking through all of this, but I'm here, so whatever. We're down 1 minute 35 seconds. Let's take a look at damage on the Castigator as traffic lags really bad because somebody must have a bad internet connection. All of the windows are gone. Most of the lights are out. The front bumper, the hood, and the right fender, as long as most of the doors are gone. It has bent wheels, and there is some body damage here and there throughout there. It's kind of hard to tell without body panels, but you can see that kind of bits and pieces are kind of crinkled up. There are support vehicles from the front and from the back, and then that's going to bring us to our next vehicle. This is one Commander Hobo chose, the Declasse Impaler SZ Cruiser, or SZ Cruiser, I guess, if you pronounce Z as if it has all these extra letters and a D at the end of it. Still don't quite understand how that works. I can understand a lot of the different pronunciations of things in the English language and how they came to be, but I've never understood Z for Z. I don't know. And worse is when I hear somebody say zebra instead of zebra. Well, there's no D in that word. Why are you pronouncing it that? And if that was the case, if Z was pronounced Z, wouldn't it be zebra? Just food for thought there. Anyway, so yeah, big barge of an American 1990s sedan. Basically, that we're gonna drive up the mountain, which should be fun. I think maybe. I don't know. I do enjoy the fact that we can have the emergency lights without the sirens. Because I like to look at the lights. The lights are great. The blinky, blinky lights. Who doesn't like to look at blinky, blinky lights? Though I must admit, I think the car looks better with the rollers that Hobo has on his. I think they just kind of suit the car a little bit better. I was going for kind of like a New York City inspired, like Liberty City inspired light bar for mine. But just looking at his rollers up there in the top left, one, the colors are just better. Like the blue and the red is just really washed out on the light bar I have. But two, I just think that the shape fits the car better with the ones that he has. But oh well, I have what I have, and I'm not about to go pay, what are they, like 10 grand to change the lighting? I have no idea. This thing was a bit of a handful to get up the mountain. It has just enough power that in the snow, it becomes a little difficult for it to put its power down without spinning the wheels. But not enough power that I can really, once I do find grip, get any type of good speed to carry a lot of momentum. So factor that in, it doesn't have the best handling to go around corners, and it was a handful to drive up the mountain. By the way, we're talking about, with this police car, this is the fastest emergency vehicle, 4-wheel and off-road, in all of GTA Online, and not by a huge margin, but let me pull up the old spreadsheet, and I can tell you here real quick exactly how well it did in emergency. So it did a 2:33. And then exactly 10 seconds behind it. So like I said, not a huge amount, but it's not insignificant. But 10 seconds behind it, the Gauntlet Interceptor. So yeah, this was the quickest because in dry conditions, it didn't have enough power to spin its wheels. So it just was able to put all of its power down all the time and climb the mountain. But in the snow with the slippery conditions, that just wasn't true. But my God, look at this sunset. Absolutely beautiful as we climb and struggle up to the top, but we've made it in 3 minutes 21 seconds. So will it off-road? Yeah, sure. We'll let it say that. I'd say anything 3.5 4 minutes in the snow is actually something fairly competent, no matter how much of a struggle it was. It deserves the ding and the yes with the big exclamation point. So everybody's at the top of the mountain, but I think this is where Donkey was AFK. I think he's riding with Hobo. I think this is where the AFK session began and then carries over into the next video. Pretty sure that's the case. So that 321 that we just turned in, out of 86 vehicles that have been tested, this puts it down on 32nd. Not that it was that high in overall. In the others, it was 38th out of 400 and something. So that's actually, to be in that top 50, I mean, we're talking, we've done, I'm scrolling 455 vehicles. Yeah, okay, so I take that back. That's in the top 10%. So yeah, it did much better on the mountain in the dry than it did here in the snow. In fact, we'll go ahead and just go to that number. It was 48.33 seconds slower in the snow. But overall, it is 32nd out of 86 in the snow. It is 0.4 of a second slower than the Vapid Illusion and 3.12 seconds faster than the Declasse Impaler LX, just a regular civilian sedan muscle car. Out of emergency vehicles, however, it still does well. Granted, we've only tested 6, and a lot of them were DNFs, but it is second out of those 6. It is 33.42 seconds slower than the Canis Terminus Patrol that we saw, what, a week ago? 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. But, ooh, doesn't have brakes to stop. Yeah, I think Hobo gets into trouble too. I can't remember, but I think we both ran into issues. Yep. Yeah, both big barges had some issues. But anyways, so yeah, 33 something slower than the Canis Terminus Patrol. 46.32 seconds faster than the Albany Police Road Cruiser. Again, that's from story mode in the North Yankton intro prologue to the game. I don't think I've ever spun out and gone up that part of the hill, by the way. Yeah, that's one of the cars that are featured in the prologue to GTA 5. Not available in GTA Online at all. That's permanently snow covered, has snow tires, you know, with that unique livery and everything. Kind of a very cool vehicle, but I was able to test it using single player story mode mods. That's how we did that. We are down 2 minutes 46 seconds. So we're going to take the Impaler SZ Cruiser back to the top of Mount Chiliad and fling it off the side to once again see what type of damage it takes. I really think I probably should have had sirens going for this, because I am personally, there we go, yeah. I am personally currently experiencing an emergency. This is a dangerous situation to be in. Especially because, look, I'm being assaulted by Hobo's bumper already. I mean, it's a bright green bumper. It had to have come from his car, which, I don't know where else it could have come from. He is shedding body parts like crazy. I don't think I lose any body parts in this, and yet I think he loses every body part that you can lose. Identical cars, identical mountain, even though we're taking different paths down through it. We're still getting banged up a lot both, and yet his is just shedding so many more body parts. There, he just lost part of his light bar. My light bar is still fully intact, but he lost the blue side of his light bar. Oh my gosh, yeah, he is taking a beating. And he has quite a bit more body damage than I have. Like, you can see, especially like in the back, that his trunk is caved in, like front to back, but also side to side. The front subframe of the car, well, I guess it would have been a body on frame car, yeah. But the front part of the frame is all squished in. Yeah, he took a beating. I guess it's from wrestling with all those trucks. I don't know. But I feel like, whoa, hello. I feel like compared to the damage Hobo has, I've come through fairly unscathed. We're down 1 minute 40 seconds. So let's take a look at the damage on my SX Cruiser. Most of the windows are gone. All the lights are missing. The hood, the doors, and the trunk won't close. It does have bent wheels, and there is body damage. Of course, we'll take a look at our support vehicles from the front and from the back, and I hope we will see you again next week, where we will be doing 2 very different coquettes in the snow. Should be a lot of fun, and I want to say thank you for watching more Offroad today. I know there are thousands of things that are in your subscription feed on your YouTube homepage that you could have watched, but you chose to watch my video, and I greatly appreciate that. Until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.